we go ahead and make our third stop of the season here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's definitely been an exciting series so far between the Veedverks Outlaw Cup Outlaw Series as well as the Veedverks Gunman Truck Series, as we have had exciting finishes and intense lap after lap, side by side, bumper to bumper action, and we look forward to continuing that this week as we go ahead and wrap up the week with the Bandit Grand National Series at Atlanta. We have 82 laps on pace here today. We're going to go ahead, jump in, join these guys as they get going with their pace lap and see how they start up in the field. As we jump right into the action, the 22 car, Corey, is going to go ahead and take the lead as they head into turn 1 with the 5 of Jaywood up on the outside. Number 9 of Party People on the inside. He's going to go ahead, he's going to clear Jaywood in the 5 as they come out of turn 2 on the low side. Coming in and out of turn 2, headed down the back stretch. They are 3 wide from the back of the field, battling for third position as we see the number 61 of Miz trying to make a move, and he's going to clear the 5 of Jaywood as Jaywood's going to stay up high and he's going to lose a couple more positions. And we see newcomer to the series this week, number 74 of Emerson, going ahead and making a move on the inside of Jaywood in the 5 as he takes the 4th position heading into turn number 1. Meanwhile, up front, we have the number 9 of Party People making a pass on the inside of Corey in the 22. As they come out of turn number 2, Corey's going to get a run back up on the high side. Heading down the backstretch, he's got the 61 of Miz following behind him. Going to go ahead and draft nose to tail heading into turn 3, but Party People's going to stay strong there on the inside. Coming out of turn number 4 as he tries to hold off Corey for the lead. Coming across the line, we're going to have the number 9 of Party People leading that lap as they go back into turn number 1. This time we have a 3-car draft, and number 7, which changes to 74, drops down to the inside behind the number 9 of Party People in front of the 5 of Jaywood, trying to make a move on the inside. Meanwhile, Corey in the 22 jumps from the high side, finally comes down to the bottom, dives underneath the number 9 of Party People. And he's going to go ahead and try to make a pass for the lead as they come out of turn 4. Is he going to clear the number 9? Looks like, yes, he's going to clear him, and this time the number 22 of Corey leads the lap. Meanwhile, Party gets a big run on the inside of the number 9 as they head into turn number 1. We have the 9, the 74, the 5 lined up on the inside, and they go a little bit wide coming through turns 1 and 2, heading down the back stretch. We have the 22 back up on the high side, the number 9 back down on the inside. Heading into turn number 3, they are still door to door as they come up through the set of corners. Coming out of turn number 4, it looks like the number 9 of Party People is going to start to clear, but nope, here comes Corey with the run back up on the high side. But this time the number 61 of Miz drops down from the high side to the low side into turn number 1. They're going to have a nice tight pack as they go ahead through turns 1 and 2. Coming out of turn number 2, it looks like the dominant line is going to be on the inside as the number 9 of Party goes and gets cleared in front of the 22 of Corey, but Party moves back up to the high side, but comes back down to the inside as they head in through 3 and 4 one more time. Coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be the number 9 of Party People clearly out in front, and the number 61 of Miz is trying to go ahead and clear Corey for second. It looks like he's gonna. So we're going to have the first 2 getting broken away a little bit from the pack, and there's still 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, 4 rows deep heading back there from third on back. And now it looks like the number 22 of Corey is going to clear out of the pack, and he's going to try to bring the 3 of Riot Hell alongside with him. But the 74 of Emerson is going to stay there. A little bit of contact as they come through turns 3 and 4, but everybody holds on to it, keeps it together. They come across the line, and it looks like the 22 of Corey is going to go to the high side again as the 74 of Emerson goes and dives down to the inside trying to take the 3rd spot. Coming out of turn number 2. They're still single file for the top 2, but behind that it's anybody's game, and the 61 jumps to the high side halfway down the back stretch. Going into turn number 3, he's going to get in front of Corey in the 22. He's going to try to get a big push from him. But Corey says, nope, I'm going to go ahead. I want to go back to the front myself, and jumps down to the inside coming out of turn number 4. Coming across the line, they're almost 3 wide. As Corey's all the way down to the grass with the 61 to the high side. Going into turn 1 again. One more time, we have the 61 drops down up to the high side as the number 9 drops down to the bottom, tries to pick up Corey to keep him from developing a run down there. Pulls back up, tries to slow down the momentum on the high side. Further back, we have the number 5, and it looks like the 18 dropping down to the inside, and they're going to try to get a tight run going as they come out of turn 4 and see if they can't pick up some spots. And that's the hard thing about right when everybody's running so close together is you get these big runs, but if you're already door to door, bumper to bumper, nose to tail, there's really nowhere to go to take momentum. we see coming out of turn 2, the 22 jumps up to the high side. He's going to try to get a run around the 9, but the 9 pulls up the block going into turn number 3. And they started the single file out a little bit, but just like that, with that quick little block, we were back double wide, 6 rows deep as they come across the line, finish another lap with the number 9 of Party People leading. And they are 2 by 2 behind him as they continue down. This time, number 5 of Jaywood has moved up to battle with Corey for second position. Coming out of turn number 2, it looks like he's going to clear him. Oh, I'm sorry. We had a driver confusion there. It's the number 5 of Motorsports battling with Corey in the number 22. Motorsports and Jaywood are splitting time on that ride this season, as they both decided to take a part-time effort and focus primarily on their Cup Series for getting in the Bandits and the Gunman Series on a limited basis, just when they want to go out and have some fun with the other guys. So coming out of turn number 2, we have the number 9 of Party People solidly in front, followed by the number 5 of Motorsports. Meanwhile, battling for third side by side, we have the 18 of Stay High on the inside, followed with the outside. Number 22 of Corey up there on the outside, with his teammate, the number 61 of Miz, tucked right up on his back bumper. Meanwhile, Jackson Kelly, the number 1, tries to suck up there behind the 18 of Stay High, and they try to make the run develop as they go into turns 1 and 2. As the number 5 of Motorsports slips to the high side in front of the 22 and slows down his momentum. And the 18 gets a big run alongside on the inside, coming along trying to take the second position. Meanwhile, one more row back, Riot on the 3 takes a big look inside Jackson Kelly, but they all double back up, heading through turns 3 and 4. Come out of turn 4, Jackson gets a little bit on the apron. He gets onto the grass somewhere. They're going to gather it up, looks like everyone's going to gather it up, keep it going, keep it straight. Jackson Kelly loses a few spots, drops back there with Emerson in the 74. It looks like they're just going to go ahead and try to ride it out a little bit, see if it settles down some, because it was getting pretty crazy up there for a while. Meanwhile, back up here at the front of the pack, we have Party People continuing to lead in the number 9 while they are side by side behind him for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth on back. Corey in the 22 trying to push the Motorsports in the 5. Meanwhile, Riot Hall is lined up behind the 18 as it Stay High as they try to get going and make a run develop. Coming out of turn number 2, Riot Hall, number 3, dives down below the 18 to Stay High. He's going to try to get a big run. It looks like the 2 of IROC is going to try to work with him to push him back past, but nope, they can't make anything develop. Going into turn number 3, drops back in line behind the 18. And it looks like we're going to have the 9, the 18, and the 3 all pull out, clear the double file. They're going to bring the 2 along with him. But the 5 of Motorsports is going to try to keep it up there, keep his nose in it. As they come out of turn 2 one more time, heading back down the backstretch. We'll see if they can get any kind of a run going, as the number 3 is trying to hold off the big challenge from the 2 as he gets a big push coming out of turn 2. Heading into turn number 3, this 18 gets pushed up to the high side in front of Motorsports. We'll see if that helps him out there and he's able to use that momentum. But the lower line's definitely been the dominant line so far. So cross the line, finish one more lap, get closer to the end of the stage. That's 3 laps to go towards the stage. So we'll see if anyone goes and decides to make that last minute decision to pit before they close pit road, and if they even have time to make it to pit road before they close it here with 2 to go. As they head into turns 3 and 4, coming around to finish 3 to go, coming to 2 to go, it looks like we're going to have the 9 of Party People in front, and the number 3 of Riot Hall trying to come back from a rough start to the week between an early exit in the Cup race and missing the truck race. Is trying to make a challenge with 2 laps to go on the high side in turns 1 and 2. We'll see if his teammate in the number 2 tries to move up there with him, or if he gets pinned down to the bottom and they separate these RCR cars. Heading down the back stretch, the 9 of Party's going to go and clear, and the 3 of Riot squeezes down in between the 2 and the 9. Meanwhile, he drifts back up as he just couldn't hold it down there. And we see the 5 pushing the 2 as they come out of turn 4. One more lap to go on the stage. Party People has a nice healthy lead. As long as he hits his marks, I really don't think there's anything they can do from behind on him. Coming through turns 1 and 2, final time in lap stage 1. We have the 9 of Party People gets a little bit ahead, and there's some contact further back. You see Motorsports in the 5 gathers it up, though. It comes back up on the track, and it looks like he's going to keep it straight. Coming through 3 and 4, the final time in stage number 1. We have the number 9 of Party leading, coming out across the line. Is he going to hold it off? And it's going to be yes, the number 9. Party People wins stage 1, followed by the 3 of Riot Hall, the 18 of Stay High, the 61 of Miz. And we're trying to get back, see who the 5th place finisher was. And that would be the number 2 of IROC, rounds out the top 5 in stage number 1. So that was definitely an exciting first stage, and it's been very, very much like all the races we've seen so far this week. And it really just goes to show you the competition level of these guys and the dedication they have to getting the track time and putting on a good race. They run every single lap like it's the last lap. And I'm fresh off the track myself from running the Gunman Truck Series race earlier this evening. And I can tell you, you have to be on your point from start to finish. Our winner in that race went back-to-back as far as our yearly visits to that track. So we'll see if he can go ahead and close out the night on a high note, because he had a good finish in the Cup race last evening. Coming out of turn 4 for the restart, coming to the line, it looks like the number 9 of Party People has won the race off of pit road. And getting the green flag, he's going to get the big jump on the field, and it looks like the number 3 of Riot is going to try to hold on there and not lose any more spots, but he falls back the second round, and he's going to see if he can hold on anymore. Coming out of turn 2, heading down the back strip. It's a little bit jumbled up there. And then we see a little bit further back there, the 22 lost a lot of momentum, and we'll see if he's able to come back to that. So number 1 of Jackson Kelly gets high, hits the wall in 3 and 4, and we have big contact here coming out of turn number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars involved. We'll see if they go ahead and they're able to get going, or if they're going to call a yellow on this. So far, we haven't heard anything yet. It looks like everybody's going to gather their cars back up and keep going on the track. And we haven't heard anything official being called out yet. Meanwhile, back up front, we have the number 9 of Party continuing to try and hold off a challenge. Just now, it's from a much smaller field up there, as the number 3 of Riot Hall tries to make a run, and there's really no more grouping up of teammates up there. And with the cars that are left up there towards the front of the pack after that big incident, they will seem to be mismatched, as we have the number 9 of Party People, who drives for J Wood Motorsports, up there leading, followed by the number 61 of newcomer Miz, who drives for Corey and Trans Am over there at Penske SHR. Then we have our returning Bandits champion Riot in the number 3 car, as he's going and he's trying to battle up there, followed with the 18 of Stay High, who's been a loyal Joe Gibbs Racing member and has had a very strong start to the season. And there we see IROC, who has definitely been a highlight reels driver so far this season, and we look to see what else develops as it goes. So up front we see the number 9 of Party goes ahead and continues to hold the lead. But meanwhile, for second position, we've seen that the 18 of Stay High has moved around the 3 of Riot, as he's dropped all the way back to 4th in line, and Miz has dropped back from 3rd to 5th in line, while IROC has moved up from 5th to 3rd. As they go into turn number 3, we see the first 4 cars single file as Miz tries to make a look on the high side. IROC moves up to the high side. We'll see if they're able to team up and make anything work, as Miz in the 61 dives down below the number 3 of Riot as they come across the line heading into turn number 1. We see the 18 of Stay Highs all over the back bumper of the number 9 of Party People, with the 2 of IROC trying to figure out a way around them as they come out of turn 2, head down the back stretch. First 2 cars are single file, but from there on back, they are battling as Party drifts a little bit high, and Stay High takes a peek, but pulls back down the block and shuts the door, and Stay High has to hold on, sitting there right in second position. Meanwhile, Riot in the 3's getting impatient, sitting there riding in the back, as he keeps taking looks to the outside every time they go into the corners, but there's just not enough help to make anything work there. They continue through turns 1 and 2 one more time. We see it's just a 5-car breakaway, so we want to keep our eye on this. But as 18 of Stay High looks to the outside, we're going to take it through the field, but we'll see what happens from this. If we get anybody who decides to go up there with him. Is there some contact between the RCR cars further in the back, as we see the number 2 of IROC against the wall. I'm going to go back here and see if he gathers it back up. It looks like he's going to get it back going. And he's going to drop all the way back and lose all that track position that he had worked so hard to get earlier on in the race. As we see the 22 of Corey is catching up, he's going to pass him now going through turns 1 and 2. And that's a big drop there for IROC. So that's a tough break. Meanwhile, back up front, we see the 61 has gotten around the 18 of Stay High. the second position as they come across the line. He's going to keep taking looks there at Party People. Gets a run up on the high side. We'll see if he's able to make anything develop as they go into turns 1 and 2. Nope, he's not going to be able to make it develop. Stay high in the 18, moves up to the high side. He's going to try to work with Miz. And he drops back. They all fall in line, single file, heading down the backstretch. Going into turn number 3. See, Stay High peeking a little bit up there, but Party People and Miz are both locked right down there on the bottom. It doesn't look like they have any intentions to come off the bottom of the track. That definitely seems to be where all the speed's been at tonight. As they go ahead, they get lined up down there and they make some serious time. But if you just sit there and you ride in line, you're not going to make up any spots, and that's why we keep seeing the 61 and the 18 trying to make moves out there and take looks, but just not able to make anything develop out of it. With that extra distance, they got to go around the track. We see Riot in the 3s pretty much lost the drive as a 61 gets onto the apron. It looks like he's going to collect a couple more cars. We'll see if this brings one out or if they end up staying green. And we are getting word there is a caution flag out, and we're going to see as they slow down. And we are getting word, yes, caution is out on the racetrack. It's going to be the 61 and 18 cars, as it later collected the number 3. So we're going to let the field reduce pace. We'll see if they go ahead and who makes a pit stop, who decides to stay out, and what strategies they use to see who comes out on top. We'll pause a moment here, take a short break while these guys get lined up and get ready to pit. And pits will be open this time, we are hearing. As we see the number 9 is leading as they come out of turn 2. So we will see who makes a pit stop, who makes what changes as they go ahead. And this is really a critical time in the stage. You get to feel some people will want to make pit stops and go ahead and start making adjustments on their cars. Other people will want to make pit stops but weren't wanting to lose a track position. And this is a good opportunity for all the guys to go ahead and come down, make some changes on their cars, fill them back up with gas, get some fresh tires, and rack them back up. See what if they're going to keep it as intense and hot and heavy as they have so far, or if they're going to settle down and let it file down. We see the number 9 and the number 1 decide they're going to stay out, and it looks like the entire rest of the field is going to go ahead and hit pit road. So we'll have to see if this is going to be a mistake by them or not. And if it pays out in the long run, track position versus tires, this is where it comes into key, and this is where we're going to see it play in the most. These two cars, they've been working good together, and Party, he's definitely had a very impressive start to his return to the Outlaws series, as he's gone and he's started it out with a bang, winning his preseason races right away and almost going for a perfect 3 for 3, getting 2 out of the first 3. So it's definitely been a very happy welcome back for him. And meanwhile, we see Jackson there in the number 1 car, as he had gone and started to run with the league before, and then due to some technical difficulties had to take a seat for a little bit and get some things sorted out. But he's come back, and after a very impressive debut in the booth last night with another returning star, Emerson, in the number 74 car, we can only look forward to good things to come from these guys. So as they're coming out of turn 4, we're getting where it's 1 to go, and we'll see how they line up and get ready for a restart. An exciting end to stage number 2. Yep. So this should be a very wild shootout. As it's going to be. It looks like we're going to have a 3-lap shootout to determine who's going to win stage number 1 here, or stage number 2 here. And it looks like we are going to have, obviously, the number 9 and the number 1 who stayed out on the front row. It looks like number 3 of Riot and the number 21 are going to be the first 2 out of pit row. Third row is going to be the number 5 of Motorsports, with the number 2 of IROC to his outside. We have Corey in the 22 lining up behind Motorsports. And who is that? 7 of Crazy lining up outside of Corey. Following Corey in the 74, we have Emerson, as we have the number 61 of Miz, followed by the 18 of Stay High, rounding up the field. And we have 42 who has out of the race due to a technical difficulty. He had some issues in qualifying. The team decided to press the on the parked cars. They come out of turn 4 across the line. We are green to start the final stage. Heading into turn number 1, we have the number 9 of Party trying to hold off a challenge from number 21 as his teammate Jackson Kelly, the number 1, has dropped down on the inside behind Party. And we'll see if this team came in with a plan, and they're deciding to stay locked together as the 3 of Riot forces his way to the inside. They are 3 wide back there for third as the 3 of Riot makes a big move coming out of turn number 2 with all that momentum. Heading into turn number 3, he goes up from 5th to 2nd in one shot as the 21 goes and dives to the inside. Heading into turn number 1, now we get the RCR cars battling side by side for second place behind the dominant car of the night so far, the 9 of Party People. And it looks like the 21 gets out of shape coming out of turn 2. He goes way down towards the inside wall, gathers it back up. Heading into turn number 3, he keeps it straight. He's going to go ahead, he's going to save his car, but he's going to lose all his track position. But he's still right there with the pack, so we'll see if he's able to come back and make some time up and see if he can recover. But awful late in the race for an issue. And this is when you really hope for a yellow, but you don't want to be the yellow. As they head into turn number 1, one more time, we see it singled out a little bit up there at the front of the field. There, as far as the leader goes, and the 2 of Ira gets out of shape this time, coming out of turn number 2. Going to go ahead and blend back in as he's some contact between him and the 5, and we have a big wreck as we see the 61 of Miz flipping through the air in turn number 3. We're waiting to see if this is going to bring one out of the flag or if they're going to keep going. Looks like they're going to keep going as there's some more contact up there.
That's the end of stage 2.
Oh, some more contact to end stage 2 between the 74 and 18. And wow. That was wild as they came to the line, and we were getting word from race control that 18 just barely beat the 74 to the flag. So we're going to go ahead and let these guys get their pit stops in, and we will be back for the start of stage 3 of what is sure to be a wild, wild finish for the Bandit Grand National Series as they race here, presented by Veedverks. And we are back as we get ready to start stage number 3. It looks like the number 9 of Party People, the dominant car of the night, won the race off of pit road. Corey is on his outside of 22 as they come across the line. Start stage number 3, heading into turn number 1. They're going to be 2 by 2. It looks like the inside line is going to get the big run again as they get on the restart. This has been the dominant line all night long. As the first 1, 2, 3 cars, it looks like are going to clear the outside lane. Heading into turn number 3, we see the 74 of Emerson jump to the outside in front of Corey in the 22. We'll see if they get the momentum. Nope, he drops back down to the inside behind the number 3 of Riot Hall in the 3rd position. Coming out of turn number 4, he jumps back up. Is he going to try to trick Riot for jumping up there? Or is he going to try to use the momentum himself? As they head into turn number 1, he drops back to the front bumper of Corey, but nope, drops back down to the inside in front of Jackson Kelly in the number 1. Coming out of turn number 2, heading down the back stretch. Number 9 of Party gets really defensive heading down to the inside lane. As they go into turns 3 and 4 one more time, we see the Party in the number 9 has glued his car to the yellow line. He is not coming up for anything, it doesn't look like. And we've seen Corey in that 22 up high all night long trying to make that line work, but hasn't really made any progress with it, with the exception of a brief moment, as it looks like the high side had to check up a little bit. And they all drop back some spots. And you'll have the 74 and the 22 still committing up there. So you're 3 wide for a moment coming out of turn 2 onto the back stretch. They drop back down double file heading into turn number 3. You see him fan out as the number 3 of Riot goes and tries to make a move for the lead. Coming out of turn number 4, the top 3 drop back down single file. And they're going to go ahead and keep going. And it looks like they're going to scatter as they go into turn number 1. Everybody fans out trying to get that clean air coming onto the nose of their cars. As you get further back you get, the less air you get on your car, and the more dirty air you get, the worse it's going to handle. And we see that those HMS cars, it looks like they're going to go ahead and line up, do some teamwork as they got lined up 1, 2, 3 there on the inside, trying to move all along up. And we have some contact there as it looks like number 5 and the 21 get together coming from 3 and 4. We'll see what happens here. And 5 has ended up on pit road. Meanwhile, let's see, did anybody else? Everybody else looks like they have kept going. A couple cars hurt for track position, and back up here in the middle of the pack, we see some contact between the 18 and 74. But they gather it up. The 74 goes all the way down, keeps it straight, gets back onto the racing surface. This has definitely spread out the field some. Now, as we see a 3-car breakaway up towards the front of the field. There we are, as we see Riot Hull, the number 3, trying to make a pass on the number 1 of Jackson Kelly. But it's going to be awful hard to try to get around those 2 teammates that are running first and second. You got to figure they're going to work together. They're going to try to take up the lanes as best they can. As you see Riot and the number 3 trying to figure out a way around the number 1 of Jackson Kelly. But he really just can't seem to find a way around him there. They get lined up and get that draft going, and this track is all about momentum and keeping your speed up. And if you lose that for just a second, it can really cost you in the long run, as it makes it very difficult to get around the other cars on the track. Especially when you have 2 that are very committed to working together like these 2 seem to be. As they head down into turn number 3. We see Riot, the number 3, trying to go ahead and take a look on the outside, but it's just not there. Jackson moves up a little bit to some contact as he tries to throw a block coming through the middle of turns 3 and 4, heading on the front stretch. That contact seemed to cost Riot a little bit in the momentum, but he seems to still be in the draft as he's trying to suck back up. Meanwhile, a little bit further back from that, we see, that 74 getting out of shape a little bit, coming through turns 3 and 4. Gathers it back up, and it looks like he's going to keep going, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, see if anything develops from that situation. Meanwhile, further up towards the front, we see a battle for 4th as the 22 and the 18 are going to both take a look inside of the 21. Coming out of turn 4, and they're going to drop the 21 back from 4th to 6th. In one set of corners, and they're both going to pick up a spot as they try to make their way back up towards the front. So we'll have to see. If you would think the 21 is going to want to work with them just because it'll give them a better shot at trying to catch up to that lead pack of 3 cars. As we've seen the front pack of 3 just really not that organized so right now. And with the 3 car trying to look around and break up the teammates and figure out a way around them. So you would figure if these 3 further back would line up, they'd go ahead and they'd start making up some time, but they're doing the same thing where we have the 21 trying to figure out a way to get back around the 18 and the 22 as he gets into the 18 a little bit in the middle of turns 1 and 2 there, trying to bump him and say, look, I want to get by you, but the 18's holding his ground, and he says, hey buddy, I'm paid to race, I'm not paid to care where you finish, I'm paid to care where I finish. And he holds him off coming through turns 3 and 4, drops down to the bottom as they come across the line and finish another lap. Looks like we have a little bit of a battle up here up front. We'll go and jump back up here as we see the number 3 of Riot has gotten around the number 1 of Jackson Kelly to take over second position, and he's going to try to use that momentum to see if he can get around the number 9 of Party People as well. But that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, because once he gets up there next to Party People, he's going to try to make that run go on the high side, but to Jackson Kelly, he's just going to drop down to the inside and say, I'm going to stick with my teammate because I'd rather finish second and third. As they go into turns 1 and 2, one more time, we see the numbers 3 and 1 side by side as they continue to battle for second place. And you got to figure that the group of 3 is loving what they're seeing because they're a little bit more organized now. As the 21 clears around the 18 coming out of turn 2 and picks up the 5th spot. And it looks like they're a little bit more organized, and they're definitely catching that front pack of 3 as they come out of turn 4. And you can visibly see it shrinking now. So we're going to have to watch and see what kind of battle develops from this. If they go ahead and they want to decide to stay hooked up and use their momentum and drive right by these 3 guys, or if they want to go and try to get involved and pick up their own spots on their own. We see the 3 car clears the 1 as they come out of turn 2, and we'll see looks like the 22 is going to try to stick his nose in there, but the 1 throws the block as they come through turns 3 and 4.
Coming out of turn 4, the number 22 dives back down underneath the 1 as he tries to throw the block on the 3 up high and open up the door. And the 1, 2, 3 cars were all going to make a run inside as they pass both the number 1 for the 3rd position, dropping him all the way back from 3rd to 6th, as well as getting around the number 3. By the 22 for 2nd, as well as the 18 and 21 staying down low on the inside as they're going to try to pick up some more spots and drop another one of the front-running cars most of the evening all the way back as he's going to go from 2nd to 6th in one set of corners. Coming across the line, they're going to battle very hard as we see Corey in the 22 looking all over the number 9 of Party People, battling for the lead, trying to get in the inside. Moves up to the high side. We'll see if the 21 goes with him or if he goes and drops him back. And it looks, yep, there he goes. 21 and the 18 are going to dive down on the inside. They're going to drop the 22. Nope, the 18 pulls in behind the 22. He says, I want to go ahead. You've been running fast all night. I'm going to stay with you and let's see if we can go to the front. As they come across the line, the 21 looks to the outside of the 9, drops back down in line. Meanwhile, we have the 22 staying up there. He's been working that high side, trying to get it rubbered up, trying to get that momentum going. Coming out of turn 2, the 22 stays looking high. He gets a big run, drops down low back though. Back behind the 21, but pop back out there heading into turn number 3. We see the 21 looking on the outside of the 9 as well, but they just don't seem to have that momentum running right in the right spot. Coming out of turn number 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars lined up, nose to tail. Is there some contact there between the 21 and the 22? 22 gets in the outside wall a little bit. We'll see if he is able to hold on to the draft. It looks like he's dropped back a little bit too far though. So just like that, we go from 5 cars battling to 4 cars battling, with the number 9 still continuing to be the dominant car out front. The 21 tries to look, and these guys, they've been trying all night, and it just seems like they don't have it. It's not enough for him as they come across the line. At 9, he spent more time, I think, looking in his mirror than he has anything else. But they've been working hard at it, and we see one car getting out of shape back there in turn number 1. And another car gets collected. And yellow, we are getting word yellow is out on the racetrack. We are hearing the 74 had some issues, and while he was trying to catch his car, it collected the 22. So we'll take a break while they get slowed down and let them know. What was that, him? Yeah. All right, we are getting word pits are open this time to the field, so we'll see who goes and makes the stop. Or if anybody stays out, you got to expect it's going to be a very, very busy place right now. So while these guys are making their changes and working on their cars, we'll invite you to go check out Veedverks.com. They've been a really great group of guys. They decided they were going to partner up with us this season. They've shown a dedication to the research of the CBD business and have really come a long ways in terms of development, especially as far as aches and pains or sleep aids. Anything that really inconveniences your life as far as things that you don't want to go to a doctor and get on medications for or start taking pills. You should really go by and check these guys out. It's all natural stuff, and it really does work wonders. I can testify to that. So go by, check them out, and check out, they got all sorts of neat products. They got pens, they got lotions. If you have pets that have arthritis in their joints, you can check out, they got services there to help them out. And you never know, sometimes a treat can go a long way, and it really beats going and dealing with those high prescription costs that you can deal with out there for different things that can have longer term side effects. So I personally fully endorse it, and I invite you all to go out and check them out. We go on, we see
come out of pit road. It looks like we will be getting one to go this time, so we'll go let these guys get lined up. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back for the restart. And we are back as we go and we join them coming out of turn number 2, heading on to the backstretch, getting ready for the restart. And we see the number, and it's one to go. And we see the 22 made a last second chance to go ahead and dip onto pit road. We'll see if that plays out for him in the long run. We also see a new player up front as the 21 beat the number 9 off of pit road. So for the first time in a little while, we're going to have a different car up front as a control car. We'll see how that affects the restart. Coming out of turn number 4, getting ready to go green. We'll see the 21. We'll see how he does. But the number 1, who's a teammate for that dominant 9 car up there on the outside, coming out of restart zone, they come to the line. The 21 gets a good jump on the field, as he's going to easily clear the 9, take the lead, and the number 9, though, is going to get the drop down in front of his teammate in the 1. Further back, though, we see him 2 by 2 as they go and they try to battle for position. We see the 5 on the inside of 2 as Motorsports makes his first appearance of the season. And he tries to clear the IROC. He does, picks up the 4th position. IROC drops back to 5th. We have Stay High continuing his good run for the night, running there in 6th position. Trying to hold off a challenge from Ryan Hall, the number 3, coming across the line with the top 3 single file. Top 4, 5, 6 cars now single file, and beyond that, they are battling and spread out. Coming out of turn 2, they fan back out though, as the 5 drifts high, the 2 stays down low, and 2 tries to make the pass, but he's not going to get the run. The 5 just holds up too much momentum heading on the high side. Coming through turns 3 and 4, there should be 18 laps to go as they come out of turn 4, come across the line one more time, and that battle up front is hot and heavy. And you see them all over each other, and you see further back there on the screen, we see the 74 just kind of riding there in the back, and he says, you know something, guys, you're a little too crazy up there right now. If I go ahead and I get him off, I'm not going to get my lap back, so I'm just going to ride here. I'm going to let you guys do something up, and then I'm going to come back at it when it's late here in the race. And we see it looks like we have some trouble there as the 21 gets right into trouble right there at the front of the field. And we have cars going everywhere all over the track, and we have caution on the racetrack. Caution is on the racetrack. Pit road is closed, and we are getting word that number 74 was going to be the free pass, so it looks like that strategy he had there of going and hanging back, letting these guys take care of it for him, is definitely paid off, as he's going to get the free pass in here with just a few short laps left to go in the race. He is going to be back in contention, back on the lead lap, and able to make a run at it. We see him coming around. No, wait until they pit. And so we see him catch him back up. Pit road is closed. It should be open the next time by. And we'll see if anyone goes and dives back down and makes some last chance adjustments, or if they're going to stay out and run what they got until the end. Pit road is open, and that's definitely a tough break for the 9. He's been up front all night long, and we see he caught some bad luck there. There was it looked like some contact between him and his teammate at one point, and don't know if that was precipitated by an issue with the 21. Is that after the numbers 1 and 9 got together, they had started to check up, but then up ahead of them, the 21 spun. So it makes you wonder, maybe there was some fluid on the track or something like that. or just something we didn't see up here in the booth, but that was causing an issue for all the drivers. But needless to say, at the end of the day, we had a big wreck that involved a lot of the front-running cars, and has definitely shuffled up our running order here late in the race. We see our new leader of the race is number 3 of Riot Hall, followed by the 18 of Stay High. And 61 of Miz has worked his way up to 3rd. Coming to pit road, we will see. Mixed bag here. Yeah, now you can take a right round. You can pit when you come around. And we see it looks like our first 4 cars have decided they were going to stay on the track. They've said, you know something, we've got what we got. We're going to stay up here. Track position is too important. So we will have the numbers 3, 18, 61, and 2 restarting in the first 4 positions. And we're going to have to see how everybody else comes out of the pit road before we know how they're all going to line up. Definitely the happiest guy in the world to see that caution was a 74. And you know, he was stuck there a lap down, couldn't really do anything. But now he gets that free pass, gets back on the lead lap. And we'll see if he's able to make something happen. And put a solid end to a solid night. He was up there early, contending, running, in his return to the series. So we'll have to see how he's able to do. Emma, you back on the lead lap? And pitted? Okay. You'll be able to catch up this lap to just going into 1. Okay. I'm making sure before I tell him when to go. We are on 1 to go, so we're going to let these guys get ready to shoot it out and take in the sights and sounds here on the restart. Put you on board here with the front row for this restart. Watch these guys as they go through the gears. We ride on board with number 18 to Stay High as they come through the box. 3 gets the jump. Coming across the line, and he's going to get it. First, second, third, going into 4th gear as they come into turn number 1. Here we jump further back into the number 7 of Crazy. And this is what it's like to be right in the middle of the Hornets nest, folks. You see them all around you, inside, outside, in front of you, behind you. Doesn't matter where you look, there are other race cars, and one slip, they're going to go and they're going to take that spot away from you. And we see the number 21 Roll Tide. Oh, look at that. We see the 2 of Iraq getting into some trouble. You see he gathers it back up, keeps it going, and we stay green. Meanwhile, back up here in the pack, we have just a Hornet's Nest. It's a 3 of Riot Hall, looks to continue his strength early on in the season, and as he won our championship last year in the Bandit series before he decided to take ownership of his own team, and he's so far off to a good strong start as he leads here late in the race. Meanwhile, we have the 61 of newcomer rookie as they get together a little bit, and we have some big trouble coming out of turn number 4. And we have caution on the speedway again. Caution on the speedway again. Yellow flag is out. And pit road is closed as the field reduces their pace. And we're going to have to go and take a look back at that, try to see how that all unfolded and what happened there to start that. As it looked like it was right up there at the front of the field. We're going to take a look here at the replay. and it looks like the 61 and the 3 got together. It's hard to tell from this angle which one was the cause car, but it's definitely the 61 and the 3 to start that. So they will be going to the rear of the field, and then we'll see who can make it. So yep, pits are open this time. We'll see if anyone goes and decides they're going to make a last-minute chance to make some changes, make some adjustments as they come to turns 3 and 4. And this looks like it's setting up to be another wild finish to a wild race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The Outlaws, the Gunmen, and now the Bandits, they have all put on an incredible show each and every single race. And it's definitely has not disappointed one bit. We see another mixed bag as it looks like about half the field has decided they're going to stay out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars that have decided they're going to stay out on the track. So the number 5 of Motorsports is going to inherit the lead, with the 18 of Stay High in second, followed by the number 1 of Jackson Kelly, the 22 of Corey, the 9 of the dominant car in the early part of the evening, Party People, and the number 7 of Crazy. So that's all 4 of the Hendrick cars are running up there in the top 6 now. And granted, part of it's due to pit strategy, but we'll have to see if they just end up paying off for them, and they're able to put a good solid night for their car owners. We know he's back there watching at home, and he's definitely got to be happy with what he sees. But you definitely can't count out that 18 and the 20 or that 22, as they've both been strong pretty much all night, and they had very strong runs to end the season with. So you'll be coming to 1 to go this time before the restart, which we know is just going to be setting us up with a really, really good shootout here to the end. And we'll have to watch to see how this year all plays out. Alright, so we are definitely going to have a shootout to the end here, as we are at 7 to go now. We'll be 6 to go when we get the restart. And we see the first 6 cars, as we've outlined already, stayed out. We have the number 5 of Motorsports, the 18 of Stay High right in our front row. Second row is going to be the number 1 of Jackson Kelly, the number 22 of Corey. Row number 3 is going to be the 9 of Party People, followed by his teammate on his outside, Crazy, in the 7. Roll Tide, one of our rookies, in the 21, with IROC to his outside. Stay High, or Emerson, in the 74, with Riot, our defending champion, to his outside. And bringing up the tail end of the field is going to be the 61. So we're going to definitely have to keep a good hard eye on this and see which one of these guys is going to take it all. As the money's all on the line now. This is time to make it or break it. And this is what you've been working for all night long. Coming into the restart box, green flag is out. It looks like the number 5 of Motorsports is going to get a jump on the field, but it might be too much of a jump as the 18 gets a good push from the 22, but the 22 of Corey drops down to the inside, takes over second spot as he goes side by side with Stay High, gets a little bit of the edge on it, coming through the middle, turns 1 and 2, heading onto the back stretch. As they're coming down 5.5 laps to go, we see the number 22 of Corey gets a big run on the inside of the 5 of Motorsports, with help from the numbers 1 and 9, which are surprising because they're Motorsports' teammates. Coming through turns 3 and 4. 22 is going to get the big run. He's going to clear. He's going to bring the number 1, the 9, and it looks like the 21 with him. 18 is going to try to come with him too. He's taking a drop to 5 all the way from the first, number 1. First place back is trying to push him back into 6th place. We see some more trouble further in the back as we see a 7, 61, and 74. All had some contact. It looks like most of the drivers are going to keep going. The 71's trying, 74 rather, I'm sorry, trying to get his car fired back up. And he gets his car rolling again. We stay green. With 5 laps to go as they cross the line this time. Corey in the 22. Now, we're hearing caution is being called on the racetrack. Caution is being called.
That was 4 to go, so that's going to have to be a quickie caution.
Alright, and we are hearing caution is
So caution is out. Stand by while we go and get the lap count.
It's 3 to go.
Okay, we are in Quickie Yellow process format because there was only 4 laps to go when the yellow was cooked.
Yeah, coming to the line, it'll be 2 to go.
As we are under Quickie Yellow rules, for those new to this series, if a yellow flag flies with 4 laps to go in a race, we go into a Quickie format where the pit road stays closed, the field doubles up and restarts. If it's with 3 or less laps to go, then the race is over and the field is frozen as it stands. So this is sure to be an exciting finish. Coming out of turn number 4, getting ready for the restart. We have the 22 gets going, hits the green gas, and he gets the big jump on the number 1 with a big push from the 9 of Party People and the 2 of IROC. The 9 has been what Party People. He was a dominant car early in the night. We'll see if he's able to try to cap off the night as he's all over the back bumper of the 22 of Corey. Coming out of turn number 2, heading down the back stretch. We have the 22 trying to hold him off. Going into turn number 3. Party People in the 9 is all over him. Meanwhile, IROC in the 2 and Roll Tide in the 21 look like they're trying to drop back a little bit as IROC gets on the apron. They are 3 wide coming out of turn 4. Coming to the white flag, and IROC is going to lose a whole bunch of spots as he gets into the apron coming to start the last lap, and he's just going to drop from the front like a rock all the way to the back. You rock, who's the rock? I'm the rock. As he goes all the way from the front of the pack to the back of the pack, just from that little slip. Meanwhile, up front, we have the 22 of Corey trying to hold on, trying to bring home the win. As he overdrives it a little bit into turn 3, he's going to hold on though. Coming through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Coming out of turn number 4, we have the 22 of Corey. It looks like he's going to hold off. And yes, he's going to win the race for the Bandit Grand National Series as they have put on another wild one here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It looks like top 5 is going to be the 22 of Corey, followed by the 9 of Party, the 1 of Jackson, the 22 of Roll Tide, and the 3 of Riot Hull will round out your top 5. Followed by the 18, the 21 we were getting word was 3rd. The 18 of Stay High looks like he come across the line in 6th, followed by the 61 of Miz, the 5 of Motorsports, the 74 of Emerson. And we had a couple other cars that had some problems there towards the back. I believe the 7 of Crazy would come home in 10th, followed by the 2 of IROC, who had some late trouble there when he got onto the apron. And then went up the track, scraped the wall a little bit, and it was on from there.
Door.
So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a short break here while these guys get finished up. And we'll go ahead and get our top 3 finishers in here and have a word with them. We'll be back in a moment after this. All right, we're giving it a moment here while we wait for our top 3 finishers to go and get in here to the booth so we can get a word from them, as we have had another wild finish to another Outlaw Series race here as the Bandit Series wrapped up the week for us at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It looks like we've got them all in here. Does everybody have their microphones set to share their audio?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll go ahead. We'll get a word here with our 3rd place finisher, Roll Tide. Roll Tide in a 21 car. Looked like you put together a nice solid night tonight. It seemed like you had some trouble early on. Tell us about your night. Tell us about your car. How was your race?
Well, it was an up and down race. The car was a little freer than I'd have liked it to be in, and the race itself was crazy. A lot of blocking,
Have a good day.
a lot of hard racing.
Be ready. Ready.
We really
Hammer
didn't
down,
expect
man.
you to be the
Green's
finish
out.
and take it for another restart. We didn't have a track at it.
Now, you mentioned a lot of blocking, a lot of wildness, and we definitely saw that all week, it seemed like. And every time the cars hit the track, you guys were all over it from the start of practice till the checkered flag of the race. Everybody was on it, every minute, every lap. How was the so intense out there? You guys, was it really just that extreme to where you had to be on it the whole time or risk going all the way to the back, or is it just the desire?
I think that the inside line played a major role, and you had to be there to gain position with somebody outside just what they work with. Everybody tried to defend their position on the inside because they really got shuffled out there on the back. And at the end of the day, it does boil down to wanting to win. But I'm not going to sit here and complain about blocking. It was a great race, hard racing, and a lot of part of it.
All right, well, we want to say congratulations on a very solid night and a great third-place effort. You guys definitely had some adversity early on, but you fought through it, put together a good, solid effort, and you brought her home in one piece. Congratulations on your third-place finish tonight.
Appreciate it.
All right, now we're going to go ahead. We're going to move on to our second-place finisher, Hardy people. Hardy, as far as we have, the description of the night's got to be heartbreak for you. We were talking during the race about how since you came back, you've definitely been on a hot streak. You've been on fire. From winning your the first 2 out of 3 preseason races for you your first week, to just continuing it through the season. You won the Truck Series opener at Daytona 2 weeks ago. You've been a consistent front runner. Every time the cars hit the track, you were by far the most dominant car and the easy favorite early on and throughout the bulk of the night. And it seemed like it was just a struggle after there was an incident where you guys had some contact, got together with a couple of cars and had to start at the back. Was traffic that much of a factor coming through it where it just changed your car, or how was it for you?
You know, I mean, tonight, for this race, you guys obviously saw I was up front on the whole time, so I got stuck in the back. I mean, I was making passes back there, but it was just so crazy to where it didn't really affect my car, but it was just that inside line was the preferred line and the blocking, so it obviously slowed me up. I was working my way back up there, and obviously I made it my way back to the front, which I was able to stick with Corey. Congrats to him. That was well-earned win. I'm glad of how this team ran tonight. Definitely deserved a better finish, but it'd be better for us to come back next week and win with them.
All right, well, good solid night for you regardless in the points. So you got to at least be able to take that away from you. Having such a strong car at the stages definitely had to help. We know we're gonna have to wait and see how everything plays out once everything's all finished up. But you got to figure it was a good points night. Do you look to use this momentum to keep you running? Use it towards that championship run. We're already hearing talk of some people that have been expected to be favorites not running like people expected them to. We had some surprise announcements as far as part-time drivers and retiring drivers. Does that really open up the window more than you would originally anticipate for a new champion as the season goes on, or is it too early to really tell that?
Well, I mean, this was definitely the first race for the season to really tell about who's going to be a front runner. And, it's definitely an opportunity with people coming in and out of the series. And I was not expecting to be as dominant as I've been throughout these races. I thought I was going to be extremely rusty, but knocked the rust off the first lap of the Daytona. And I expect to not slow down. I expect to keep this momentum going. Don't slow down at all. And, just keep racing hard. Keep those points. You gotta race smart. Go for those wins, but race smart.
All right. Well, you had a great race tonight. We want to congratulate you on your runner-up finish and your very, very impressive start to your season, both preseason and through the start of the season itself. And we look forward to seeing what happens as you go try to make your run at the championship and just what you're able to pull off on your return. So definitely been an impressive return so far. We look forward to seeing what else he's going to bring as the season moves on.
Yes, sir. Don't plan to let anybody down. Congrats to Corey on the win tonight. He was well deserved.
Speaking of Corey in that 22 car, you know, well, we've heard everybody we've talked to has said bottom line. We wanted the bottom line. You're always known as a bottom feeder, but yet you've been up at the top here. What's up with that? We're so used to seeing you on the bottom, but here, even all through preseason, here through the start of the season, you've been a highliner.
I gotta figure out where everybody else might run. Keep getting back to the front.
Now, was your big moment of the night when Hardy had his trouble up there at the front and had to go to the back, and it seemed like it kind of jumbled up the field? Was that the defining moment for you?
I don't know about that, but it definitely helped out a lot. A couple of timely cautions towards the end. Probably the right strategy I needed to be in. Probably helped me out the most.
Yeah. You say that about the cautions, and we definitely, it seemed like there was some pretty clean overall at the start. But then definitely near the end, it seemed like we had a few. Is just the intensity of the building up?
Yeah. Always the end of the race. What we expect, and hopefully come out the other side.
Well, Corey, you definitely seem to be at the right place, the right time tonight. How do you see the season playing out as you move forward? You definitely had the car to beat last week for the Bandit Series as we were racing on the road course, and people expect you. People expect you to win there. People expect Hardy now to win there, as he's shown some good strength here on the road courses. Do you look forward to the new challenges that he's going to bring you as the season goes on?
Yeah. I'd have some better race with around there. Not have to worry about getting knocked off the track. It's always fun.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. That's your top 3 finishers from this evening as we go ahead and we wrap up another exciting week with the Veedverks Outlaw Series. And we had wild races in all the cup race, the trucks race, as well as wrapping it all up with an exciting finish here at the Veedverks Bandit Grand National Series. We ask you all to go ahead, and we look forward to invite you to join us next week as we continue and we head out west to start our West Coast swing. And we look forward to the Bandit Series really showing you their endurance as they have their next 100% race out on a 1.5-mile high bank oval out there in Vegas. So we invite you all to go ahead and join us next week and tune in as we come at you high speed from the West Coast, and look forward to joining us as we put on the show. Thank you all for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you on the track.